decades ago, Algeria was nearly torn apart by civil war. At least 150,000 people were killed during the 1990s conflict. The arts, from filmmaking to writing, suffered greatly during Algeria's so-called Black Decade. But in recent years, Algiers has experienced something of a cultural renaissance. The arts are beginning to re-emerge. And this neighborhood, Telemli, is at the heart of it. It's one of Algiers' trendiest neighborhoods, especially for artists. There are new galleries like this one displaying modern paintings by local residents. And shops selling handmade Algerian crafts in an effort to preserve the country's heritage. There are new cafes. 24-year-old Yasmin Bouchen and her friends come here every few days. Bouchen runs a popular cultural website in Algiers, and this area gives her plenty to write about.
So in the past 5 years, you've seen a lot of galleries openings and coffee shops and exhibits. So it's become really like a neighborhood you have to see.
Telemli, she says, offers Algerians a chance to see art in new ways. But it's certainly not the only place. Throughout the city, many young Algerians are reimagining old forms of art and discovering new, alternative ways to express their ideas. Saïd Sabou is one of them. He's a writer and graphic designer. Saïd is drawing, frame by frame, scenes for an upcoming graphic novel. His inspiration comes from watching Japanese cartoons on TV, but his story is uniquely Algerian.
I just, had a dream once, and I wanted to make my own heroes that telling stories about my people, about my society.
Saïd is one of a growing number of young Algerians working on a form of comics called Manga, animated stories with roots in Japan. Manga is known for showing more dynamic action than typical comics. The characters more surreal, with exaggerated facial features and expressions. Saïd's next book, his sixth, is a comedy, but pokes fun of societal divisions in Algeria. Saïd's protagonists are usually young Algerians who come from poor areas, but overcome their odds to become unlikely heroes. The 27-year-old first started making manga in 2007, after falling ill with tuberculosis. Bedridden for a year, Saïd realized he had a story to tell.
I had the time to think about things and to think about my life and what I was going to do. So I started just, to pass time and things like that. I started drawing and writing stories.
And his stories seem to be resonating on the streets of Algiers. This is the city's international festival for comic books. It's a wildly popular annual event, launched 7 years ago to revive local production of comics. Like most art forms, animation largely disappeared during the Civil War. It's also a chance for young Algerians to let loose.
It's a cultural event and a space where teenagers can express themselves freely.
This year's festival showcased comics and graphic novels. But manga was one of the biggest hits. Salim Brahimi first realized its potential in 2007. He created one of the country's first manga publishers. His company, Z-Link, publishes in French, in Arabic, and will soon be in Tamazight, the language of Algeria's Berbers.
It's becoming very popular now. We began publishing 1,000 copies per month. Then we went to 2,000. Now, sometimes we print 5,000 to 6,000 a month.
Most of the books cost between $3 and $4. But making manga doesn't quite pay the bills yet. Anan Benmendoumi is one of the first female manga authors. The 27-year-old has published 4 books, but still works a day job as a designer.
There were many people telling me to stop drawing altogether because it's not going to lead you anywhere.
But she isn't too bothered by comments like that. These young manga artists see success in the number of fans reading their work. For Zaid, it's about inspiring young Algerians to find their own voice in society, which keeps him drawing away one frame at a time. Up next, from manga to a more traditional Algerian art. Plus, a famous old Algiers hotel and its big role in the World War II battle for Europe.